Welcome back, everyone. Dustin here again, Average Guy Hi-Fi, with another video for you guys. As you guys know, I'm a bit of a bargain hunter, just trying to save money. I have, as my dad would say, champagne taste on a beer budget when it comes to home audio gear. A part of this channel is obviously trying to help you guys save money, but then also I figured I would start incorporating more videos of my purchasing experiences, just so you guys kind of are aware of the potential risks of buying used. Just my experiences, so hopefully that can kind of guard you from bad experiences, especially when you're buying stuff and having it shipped to you. As you see behind me here, these are a pair of Klipsch KL650THX speakers. These are my main home theater speakers. My goal eventually is to have 5 of them in a dedicated theater if I ever move out of this little place and do that. So I've been rounding out that system. Back in the day, I did a video with the subs and all that stuff. I ended up selling the subs off because I'll probably go a different direction that route. But with my last couple purchases, I've had some issues. This one over here, I purchased for about $880 used from eBay. Everything was fine. Shipper packaged it up. Everything was good on that end. Sounds great when I got it all hooked up and everything. But my latest edition is this one over here, which is the left version of the set. It's the right version of the set, sorry. And I actually had a little bit of an experience with this one. So again, I purchased this one on eBay as well from a seller that had very high ratings. Everything was fine transaction. They shipped it quickly. It was packaged well. But when I ended up getting it, I set it up. I set up everything when I get it in just right away to make sure it sounds good and everything. But I realized that the tweeter was blown in this speaker. So I ended up messaging the seller, and we worked out a deal. Basically, they gave me a partial refund so I could order the correct parts for the speaker, which was great. They were, again, good ratings, all of that. They gave me the refund. Before they gave me the refund, I reached out to Klipsch to try to figure out how much the replacement tweeter would be, and kind of worked out how much it would cost to have it installed and things like that. And they gave me a refund that made it acceptable for both parties. You know, I was reasonable. I didn't just want to ship it. It's about an $850 purchase, I think, with tax and everything, shipping, tax, delivered. So not a cheap speaker by any means, but when I got it home and hooked it up, I definitely noticed that something was wrong with the tweeter. So this video is going to just kind of show you the sound differences between a fully functional speaker and then one that has a blown part of it. You know, you can have multiple different ways of having blown speakers. You can have a woofer go out. You can have a tweeter go out. Both of them can go out. The surround, some people call it when the surround around the woofers is rotten. Things like that. But luckily, you can usually replace that surround fairly easily. But these ones, it was because the tweeter was just totally shot. So I'm going to give you guys a sound demo of one that's fully functioning, and then I'll turn off the amp, and then I'll let you guys hear this one that has the blown tweeter. And then what I ordered from Klipsch right here is just give you guys a close up there. It is the replacement tweeter for that speaker. So I'll show you guys the sound demo of these, and then I will go ahead and do a little brief video of me installing this tweeter. Hopefully it's nice and easy. I'm not all that mechanical, but I'll show you guys the process, and then I will pop over here and I'll give you guys kind of my overall impressions. But basically, blown speakers, when you're purchasing used gear, that's a possibility. It could just be a speaker that was being asked too much, meaning that it was put in a room and it was being asked to produce too high of sound volumes than the speaker is really capable of ever doing in the first place. That's one reason that you can blow a speaker out. You know, in dedicated theaters like these speakers were designed, that's a strong possibility, just making it try to produce too much power or too much sound for over what its manufacturer capabilities do. Also, another way to blow speakers, I keep reading online, so I figured I'd introduce this little area too, because it's people are like, well, if I give my speakers too much power, it's going to blow them. Of course, yeah, if you give them too much power and you turn them up loud, you can definitely blow them. But another thing that people don't realize is that it's easier to blow speakers actually by giving them too little power, which sounds a little bit funny, but it's just the requirements that the speaker needs to produce the sound levels and everything that people are looking for too low, especially with speakers like these that have impedance drops and things like that. That's another way of doing it. So, you know, these things, they're not all that, they're very efficient, but it really, those impedance drops are really how you can kind of do it while you're trying to power it with like a receiver or something like that, and just asking too much of it. So that's definitely, so you can blow a speaker by giving it too much power. That's a little bit more on the rare side, because your ears and things, at least for my rooms, it's your ears will not want to listen to past a certain volume if they're giving them nice clean power, and that really, you start noticing a strain. So blown speakers can sound a number of different ways. They can sound like the highs are really high, or it has like a crackling sound to it. That's definitely like a shrill. That would be one way of describing it as well. You can sometimes hear a little bit of flapping from the tweeter itself. Like flapping might not be the right word, but it sounds like it's crackling. So that's a dead giveaway that the speaker could potentially be blown. Another way would be like if a woofer was given too much power and it just, the voice coil couldn't handle it, so then it starts making bad noises when you're playing bass scenes or bass music, things like that. So again, you can blow the tweeters, you can blow the woofers themselves, but this one right here was a tweeter. So again, the seller was very cool. They gave me that refund. I ordered the part, and I'm happy here as long as I can kind of get it up and running. But what we'll do is, again, show you guys these speakers playing in action. Again, the one on this side here is totally fine. The one on this side here has the blown tweeter. So I'll just move out of the way here, and I will play a little bit of music. Doesn't have to be loud or anything. You'll notice right away that this speaker is blown. And then we'll go over there and I'll show you guys me installing the new tweeter. And then we'll come back over here. I'll give you guys my overall impressions on how everything went, and then I'll play them both how they're intended to be playing. So here we go. I'll just put on a little Adele so you guys can kind of hear the difference between the sound, and then I'll show you guys me installing the new tweeter. So here we go.
I let it fall, my heart, and as it fell, you rose to claim it. It was dark, and I was over, until you kissed my lips and you saved me. My hands, they're strong, but my knees will fall to you. In your arms,
Well, great news. That tweeter was exactly what that speaker needed. Obviously, as you guys could tell from the video, it was definitely the highs that were missing. They would cut out just, if they would play anything at all, it would just be real shrill, just sounded terrible. And that tweeter, it was a real easy swap. Took me about 6-7 minutes from start to finish. I was going to bring my electric screwdriver, so I could have shaved a little bit more time off, but there was no glue or anything like that. That anodized metal plate came off nice and easy. And so did the tweeter, as long as I can get my fingernails underneath it, try to pry it out of there. But it just has like a foam backing on the tweeter, so I kind of tightened those Torx screws down. Not too tight, because the screw's obviously metal and the cabinet's wood, so if you go too tight, you'll just strip out the hole. Just snugged them down, fired these things up, and they sound just beautiful. So, this is kind of one of those stories where it just all worked out, and I'm very happy with my purchase still. So, the seller was easy to deal with. They gave me the amount of money that felt was fair to make things right, and they agreed, and we're on to the next. So one thing that you guys should keep in mind when you buy speakers, obviously my main thing is, I've always tell you guys this, but go listen to them if at all possible. Problem is, especially this COVID year, people want to meet in parking lots and stuff like that, and that's a real risk. Obviously, if you're showing up and you're buying 3 speakers, 7 speakers, whatever the number is, there's a potential for one of those speakers to have an issue. And the other issue that I just lucked out because there wasn't very many of these parts available in Klipsch. So if you buy speakers that are old, or if it's a manufacturer that's out of business, or if it's just an old model and they don't have replacement parts, whether it be Definitive Technology, Polk, Bowers and Wilkins, whatever, that is a risk. So sometimes you just can't fix it. So you just end up buying speakers and then you can't, replace whatever. And if it's like the center channel or something like that, where it's like the main speaker in your system, you're going to have to, for somebody like me that likes all matching speakers, that would be a real tough thing. So obviously you want to listen to these things. But again, sometimes people are just like, hey, it's a really good deal in the speakers. I'll meet you in a parking lot. You bring the cash, and then you just have to kind of roll the dice. So always be aware of that. Luckily, over the last 20 years of buying speakers, hundreds and hundreds of speakers, I've been very lucky. I've only had a few speakers that have issues. One of them sitting over there. But that's one thing to check out as well, too. So right when I got the speaker and I realized it had an issue, my first phone call was to Klipsch. They had great customer service. They took care of me. They mailed me the parts out quickly. They had good follow-up and all that stuff. So I know people like to complain about customer service, but that experience was pleasant with Klipsch. And I'm a big Klipsch fan. I didn't say that I have a YouTube channel. I don't have very many subscribers, but I didn't try to leverage or anything. I was just trying to go into it from a consumer standpoint. Super awesome. Mailed me the parts, and obviously it all worked out. So I ended up saving money, buying the parts and just replacing it for myself. So everything kind of worked out real nice with these. So I'm very happy right now. So now I've got 2 more of the speakers that are kind of my dream speakers. I know I've had those PSA, MTM 210s, things like that are better performing speakers for home theater, but they're just too large. I kind of like to walk a balance of what looks good as well, too. And I'm not one of those super loud listeners out there either. That's probably why you guys like my channel, is because I'm not trying to, break records when it comes to lowest, really low bass, things like that. I like good sounding movies and music, and I like punchy sound and just clear with good power and all that. And this is kind of my dream set, so I'm happy I'm able to pretty much round the set out now. So the reason I'm kind of red-faced here is I just plopped this 80-pound beast down here next to me. This was somebody else out there mentioned on the forums that there was a factory refurb sale on the Monolith amplifiers. So I was in a Zoom meeting, and when I saw that kind of notification, and I hopped right on there and just ordered it. So I ordered myself a Monolith 5x200 amplifier. I'll be doing a comparison. I'll be putting my receiver up against it, just playing music. Probably use these speakers because they're a little bit more demanding. I'll play these with the receiver power, and then I will play the speakers again using the amplifier power and see if you guys can tell a difference. That's a real debated topic, but it's speakers that are a little bit more demanding on impedance drops, things like that. They like good, clean power, and these definitely, some people even say, hey, you want a minimum of 300 watts a channel. Well, I don't think I really need that. So 200 watts RMS times 5. So I'll be giving them nice, clean power. Since I sold that Marantz amplifier, I was really sad to see that thing go because I really liked it. very low. I didn't hear any hissing, anything like that coming from any of the tweeters. And I've had some amplifiers where when you introduce them into your system, it actually gives you a hiss. And for small rooms, that hiss isn't, it's not like something that I would just put up with. So I'm hoping this thing has a real no hiss or anything like that, hooking it up to a good power conditioner and everything. So that's going to be one of the next videos. And then I know you guys are waiting for this one. I got to do a more in-depth review of that Lexicon RV6. So those are going to be the next videos coming up. So this one was kind of impromptu because I was not expecting to make it. But again, I wanted to do a little bit of a video just kind of explaining to you guys blown speakers, what the issues are, what causes them, and then let you guys know that sometimes you can replace the parts and be perfectly happy with it like I am. So again, my name is Dustin. The name of the channel is Average Guy Hi-Fi. The whole point of this thing is just to kind of document kind of one audio obsession that I have just for you guys. I should have started it many years ago, but that's hindsight's 2020, as they say. So I want to help people save money. Please comment in my videos. That's really helping. I can already tell people are like, hey, Dustin, I picked up this speaker here, and they're getting better deals than I got. So I'm not doing anything special here. I'm just in my market. You got the cash in hand, you're able to get some pretty phenomenal deals and build a system with a real small budget. So that's kind of the idea of this channel, plus to give beginners out there just getting into the hobby a little bit of just kind of average advice, not from people that are trying to have the best sounding home theater in the state or anything like that. This is just what the stuff that I like, my experiences, all of that. So if you guys are into that stuff, please subscribe to the channel. Thank you very much.